All right, we need to talk about something that's honestly been pretty painful for a lot of raid players right now and was very unfortunate. So if you picked your fusion champions, your fusion epics, into your Grim Forest deck and suddenly realized you can't remove them, yeah, you're not alone. And for some players, this didn't just hurt, it killed the fusion entirely. Now, here's what happened. So, players go into the Grim Forest, and the first thing that happens is it puts you into the hard tab, right? Here, you click on the team decks, and then you have to pick 40 champions so you can start doing Grim Forest stages. A lot of players ended up putting their fusion epics in here because of various reasons. You know, maybe they already leveled them up to 50. They don't have a lot of 6-star champions, so you just use what you have, right? Not everyone has a wide roster of champions, especially if you're a new player. And then you also don't know how everything works, all the mechanics, and so on. So end up putting your fusion champion in here. You set the deck, and then you start doing stages. And then on some stages, you can't progress anymore, so you get stuck, right? Let's say this, for example, can't beat this stage. Your fusion epic is stuck in here or picked from the deck, and you can theoretically redraw and then reset the champions that are picked from the deck. So that's one way to do it. But for example, for some people, that happened on Saturday when the fusion ended. So they were out of Grim Forest energy as well, and they couldn't do anything to get this champion out of this stage. And that means the champion was stuck. Now, if you want to reshuffle your deck, you can do that too with this squad reshuffle, get that champion out of your deck that you picked, but cannot reshuffle if champions are locked. You know, you can't swap them out if they are locked in stages. And also, you cannot do anything if you don't have enough coins. So in theory, there are ways to move your champion from the deck, but you can also get stuck by not being able to complete a stage, running out of Grim Forest energy on that day, or not having enough coins. And also, there's no clear warning, you know, that the fusion champions will be stuck in here, that you can't remove them. Fast forward, the fusion ends, and those champions that are in the deck are stuck. No way to remove them, no way to use them for the fusion. Fusion missed. And let's be real, missing a fusion in raid, if you already did like most of the things or completely did everything that you have to do to get it done, this isn't the small thing for a lot of players. That's a lot of time, a lot of resources, that's a lot of planning, for some players even preparing for weeks, and all of it is gone. So the big question everyone asking is, whose fault is it? Is it Plarium's fault or is it the player's fault? Let's start with the argument against the players. So, some people are saying that you should have known better. You shouldn't put fusion champions into those decks, right? Why are you doing this? That's on you. And for sure, experienced players are cautious, and I can see that argument. But at the same time, not everybody knows everything about raid, especially when you're new to this game. And even experienced players, you know, that have been around for years, this is relatively new content too. We don't know everything around this content. And raid had some weird cases like this before. So there's the problem with this argument. There was no clear warning, right? There was no warning that if you put your fusion champions in here that they might get stuck. There's no pop-up, no confirmation message, no this action may lock this champion forever warning. And more importantly, this is a known issue. This has been here since the last rotation. You know, there have been already reports from players that couldn't do the fusion because their fusion champion got stuck. And Plarium knows about it. Plarium knows about it. Some of the community knows about it. And right now, there's no real solution to it. No rollback, no compensation or whatever. Cannot get the champion out of there. And this is where it stops being about player mistakes, in my opinion, and starts being about, you know, system design. If a normal gameplay action can permanently block a fusion or lock a champion in its content, especially without a warning, that's not just player error, that's, you know, design failure. And players shouldn't need outside knowledge Discord warnings or Reddit posts or whatever to avoid losing a fusion, in my opinion. It should be everything in the game that you need to know, right? Especially information like this. Now, here's the announcement on the official raid Discord that got posted on Friday. So that was one day before the fusion ended. Fusion champions and Grim Forest decks. Please note that champions who are part of the ongoing fusion, as for example Galapo in Cassandra's fusion, are getting locked if you're using them in the Grim Forest decks. This would prevent you from completing the fusion, so please be extra careful and make sure you're not using such champions in Grim Forest. However, if you found yourself in such a predicament, there is a workaround. Visit the vendor and use Grim Coins to get a squad reshuffle to change your decks. We already talked about that, but in some cases that doesn't work. In case your champions got locked in a stage you haven't beaten yet, you will also need to redraw them until they aren't selected in any of them. We're currently working on how to prevent such situations and we'll let you know as soon as there are any updates. So this was posted on Friday, like I said, one day before the fusion ended, so I don't know. I don't feel like that was fast enough. They knew this for a very long time, and also in some cases, these tips didn't help. And I don't think, players should pay for this because of the poor design here. In this case, I mean, obviously Grim Forest in general is great content, but this is something they overlooked, and it's very frustrating for a lot of players, and it shouldn't be the case. So there should be a fix or something that you could do, and I would advise anybody that missed the fusion because of this to contact the support, and hopefully they can fix this somehow. I'm not sure if they will do anything, but it's worth a try, it's worth a shot. Maybe some of you guys that missed the fusion because of that contacted the support and can maybe comment in the comment section below and let us know what happened. Are they actually helping, or is there a fix, or are they just saying we can't do anything? That would really interest me, so feel free to share your experience in the comment section below. But yeah, in the end, the question stays, is it the player's fault? I would say in some cases maybe partially, but it's mostly Plarium's responsibility to protect players from irreversible mistakes like this. Or am I wrong? In my opinion, that's the case. At the very least, there should have been a warning, and at the very least now there should be a fix, right? So yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments below what do you guys think about this. Let me know your thoughts. Also share your experience if you missed the fusion because of this, and maybe you contacted the support and maybe you can help somebody else. So yeah, smash that like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more raid content. YouTube algorithm is going to suggest you a video that you might like right here, and see you in the next one.